for example, and who can be called upon for protection in any situation inexhaustibly by everyone, as and when required, but with a healthy respect and sense of gratitude and thanks when you know and understand that He has indeed worked in your life. Many cultures throughout the world have ascended masters: Jesus, Buddha, St. Francis, to name but a few. And the one thing all ascended masters have in common is that they lived on earth, and as a result of their life and the way they lived it, they ascended into heaven, never to be forgotten by their respective cultures for their impact and teachings. Please do not be offended if I have not mentioned an ascended master belonging to your culture or beliefs. Simply take this as example to fortify your belief with tolerance and understanding of all, with none being of any more greatness or significance than the other. We all must learn tolerance of one another's cultures and embrace all the good therein. Stop the division, release the prejudices and associated hatred of another's culture's way of doing things. Simply accept and live and let live. Later on in the book, I will go into my theory of life and death and the process as divinely channeled to me. But here I wish to touch briefly on escaping the cycle of reincarnation. We are born time after time on earth to learn karmic lessons. Again, karmatic is yet to be added to the dictionary. It simply means series of lessons in karma. Say you hate a person just because the colour of their skin. That is totally unacceptable because a soul has no colour. So you will be reincarnated until you understand this lesson. Whatever the prejudice, even religious or cultural, you can expect to be reincarnated until this lesson is learned. It also takes on an equally as important meaning when dealing with relationships, whether it be the one you have with family, friends, lovers, and even perceived enemies. For me, my enemies are very real. They teach me lessons, so I thank them and pray, even heal them to try and get them in a better karmic place. My family, friends and lovers I hold a special, deep love for, and for me this is incomparable to what you may think right now. Whatever you think right now, multiply by infinity. If I have learned anything with regards to any kind of relationship, is that forgiveness is key to your own peace of mind. No matter what the situation, no matter how much it hurt you, whether you failed yourself or someone failed you, forgiveness brings freedom. I will also state here that I am a firm believer that disease can amass itself in your own physical body by holding on to hatred for another person or by not quickly forgiving them and moving on. Let me make this clear here also with reference to the Bible, so as not to appear like a doormat or a push pushover. If a man strikes you and you strike him back and win the fight, then that is a justified outcome. What I basically wish to convey here is that to forgive is to be free, and would advise the sooner it is done, the better for all concerned. To get back onto the spiritual path subject of the ancestors, I currently live alone and have done for many years. As I mentioned earlier in the book, I am a grandfather. I have lived a great life and had my share of trials and tribulations. And although I may live alone, I have never felt lonely, because I have always been aware of my ancestors being around me. Sometimes I only have to call a passed over loved one to feel reassured and comforted in times of stress. In my mind's eye, they smile. Sometimes I smell their perfume, and little things like that which bring me so much comfort. Sometimes when I am meditating and reaching those heights of connection with my ancestors, I will go higher into the angelic realms. How I do this, I will explain later on in the book. But know that it is very possible for you to achieve through a little practice. I understand that for some people, the very thought of seeing a past loved one in a vision whilst meditating may scare them. But take it from me, there is a great calmness and peace felt within times of trouble. There are a number of ways you can do this. One is to get your chakras in alignment or indeed balanced. Again, there are many videos on YouTube which provide guided meditations. And once you have mastered it, just the music. But at the end of the day, all you need to connect is peace and clarity of mind. Here I will briefly explain the 7 chakras you should be working with in the beginning, starting at the bottom or base of the spine, but bring this vision around to the front of your body. Here is the first chakra, which is known as the root. Next, above that, between there and your belly button, is the sacral chakra. Next is the solar plexus above your belly button. Next is your heart. Next is the throat. Next is the third eye, which is situated above the middle of your eyebrows. And finally the crown chakra at the top of your head. To activate now, and if you would like to try it, all you need do is sit in a comfortable position, close your eyes. Imagine a ball of fire generating and glowing in your root chakra. Slowly, with calm patience, move this ball of fire or energy up through your body. Spend a comfortable amount of time per chakra. Once you reach your crown chakra, if you have done this correctly, you will feel the top of your head tingle. You will also feel as if it is glowing. You are now opened as a vessel to receive universal downloads and esoteric knowledge to bless your life. I hope you enjoyed that if you tried it. Further education for yourself with regards to the chakras, I will only touch briefly on it here. The lost city of Atlantis has been in not too recent years proven to have existed. I have also in my learnings understood that the Atlanteans, again this word has not yet been added to the dictionary, but simply means of Atlantis. They used the chakra system in everyday life, and as a culture had it mastered to a point of which the use of language was secondary, as they connected through telepathy. Their chakra system was far more advanced, and it is believed that in addition to the 7 I explained, that they used an additional 14, 7 above and 7 below, giving 21 in total. And that is for your further investigation, should you choose to find out more. A personal theory as to why the city of Atlantis was destroyed could simply be that with all the knowledge gathered by the use of the chakra system, it was simply too much. For example, imagine an Atlantean society where disease and communication were conquered by the powers of the chakra system. This would not leave much room for evolution of man, to which this stage of the modern world we live in today, for good or bad. Who am I to question the motives of God, the Creator, but simply offer a theory to you? I personally believe that we all have the power to regenerate our organs. That which is not seen has the most scope for miracles. Visual miracles where there is a radical difference to a person's outward appearance, mankind is not ready for. It would confuse too many, and there are not enough people who have the mental capacity to readily accept this. We live in a 3-dimensional world. Some of us have ascended to a 5th dimension where all things are possible and everyone has the ability to ascend. Again, if you choose to learn your karmatic lessons in the process. In short, once you address your karma and choose to forgive everyone and every situation, look more favourably on those less fortunate, whatever the issue that you know fine and well needs attention, then you break the karmic cycle of your lessons would have been learned, and a wonderful, prosperous and happier life would be yours to experience. Again, here I will stress, it is all down to gratitude. The more you are grateful for, the more you receive. It's called reciprocity. The Creator or God wants you to be happy. And if your argument is, well, what about that starving child I saw on television? God is not responsible for that. Man is, and he will pay for it. This you can understand by the simple applied thought that if all of mankind were to work together in eradicating poverty by the implementation of a fairer distribution of wealth, instead of starting wars to take this by force, which always results in world disorder of the equilibrium of peace. There is no war justifiable in my book, yet I understand insurgence, but I do not condone it. As stated earlier in the book Karma, if in this lifetime is not dealt with, or abuse of power, by anyone is perpetuated, the consequences will be reincarnation. Allow me to give you an example. A greedy, power-mad general of an army, devoid of care or compassion, imposes unimaginable pain and misery on a race or culture without remorse or justification. Not that this would ever be justifiable. He would be reincarnated into the body or similar situation as to those he oppressed.